Hello, hello, hello. I'm Nate, and welcome to the channel. It's been a minute, so I'm glad to be back making videos. I have a prototype for you from PDX. They sent in to me called the Locus. We're going to be talking about that today. But before we get into that, have you seen the Netflix We Are the Champions yo-yo documentary, mini little doc on there? If you have, I'd be curious what your comments are. I didn't get around to making a video. My plan was to make a video. As I was watching it, I was taking some notes and so on. But it's a little too late now, I think. So, but I'd be curious what you thought of it, if you've seen it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good overall. A little, quirky, but it's yo-yo. So I thought that was kind of fitting at times. Some of the vocabulary was interesting, or some of the verbiage was a little interesting, but overall, I think it did a good job of like kind of capturing the vibe of a world yo-yo contest and the atmosphere of that. Because I was there. I tried to find myself, by the way. Couldn't find myself. I was there only on day Saturday on the one day there, but I don't know. I didn't zoom in enough maybe, and if I did find myself, I'd be probably very, very blurry. But anyways, so enough of that. Let's get into the prototype of the Locus here from PDX. Let's get into it. Yeah, PDX sent this over a couple days ago. I got this. I've been playing with it nonstop since then. I really dig it. It's kind of got that old school or mid-school vibe going on with it. Not old school, more mid-school. That little hook there, especially that little kind of like rised up lip there, which is very kind of symbolic of Oxy in general. And also the hub design itself is very Oxy-esque. Yeah, if that's a word. Overall, this is it feels a lot smaller than it really is. It's about that 54 millimeter in diameter. So it's technically that kind of standard size, but it kind of feels more undersized in the hand. Has, again, that sort of nostalgic mid-school sort of feel to it, vibe to it, in the design and the look and so on. It is an organic yo-yo, obviously. And speaking of those, that sort of feature I talked about with the Oxy sort of feature that kind of scoops up there a little bit, that's not sharp at all. It's kind of just, it just looks cool. There's not a lot of rim weight on that. It's kind of just more in, I don't know, it looks a little bit more kind of just overall weight distribution. It's not going to be incredibly performance based. It's going to be more of that sort of just laid back yo-yo. But it's going to play well just from the look of it. It doesn't have really a high wall either. Let's take this apart and I'll show you what I mean. I have it apart here. You can kind of see there. It scoops up just a little bit. It has a nice little, pulling away from the gap sort of feature there. So it's not going to have that high walled. You're going to be able to have less string drag and so on. And you should be able to. That should benefit you quite a bit. I do like the design of this. Again, it very much feels like that little bit more nostalgic sort of feel to it because the blend of those two yo-yos. But it has its own uniqueness as well too, right? I could see where it gets those influences, but it's a whole new yo-yo. It's a very different design that stands on its own as well. So that's the Locus. Yeah, let's go play it. All right. Welcome back with the Locus. PDX kind of names all their yo-yos after sort of like, I don't know, monster films and all that. So I'm not sure exactly the inspiration for this one in particular. I haven't gotten the background story, but I'm sure they'll be releasing that pretty soon. Yeah. So I like the feel on the string. First off, as a prototype, this thing is dead smooth. I mean, dead smooth. 100% A grade. Feel on the string, it's not floaty. It's not, doesn't feel heavy either. It's kind of a nice, just general laid back yo-yo. It's gonna be a challenge a little bit with this yo-yo to keep it a little bit on plane, to keep the tilt. It's not, I don't feel like it's wobbly or anything like that, or I'm feeling like I'm losing it a lot, but it is gonna be a little bit more of a challenge. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Parlay in that design way. Like, it's very, very capable, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge, and I think that's a good thing to, you know, keep you consistent with how you're throwing. So you're going to need to make sure that you're throwing straight first off, but also keeping it straight throughout tricks, because I've noticed it's just not as forgiving, you know, which I think, again, I think that's a really good thing. And a lot of more of those mid-school yo-yos had that sort of feel, not uber like rim weighted or overly large, and that's yo-yo is exactly that. It's not overly large. It's kind of, again, a little bit of that on that. It feels more on in the hand, especially on a catch, more of an undersized, a slightly undersized, and it does not have a lot of rim weight, or hardly any at all, really. And so it's going to be a little, again, it's going to be a little more challenge. But I think I like the feel of the string. The yo-yo, it definitely paces with you. I can feel the movement on the string at all times. You know, I don't ever feel like it's getting away from me. I always feel like I have control of it as I'm throwing it. Regens are okay. Like I said, you need to have control with that yo-yo as far as the tilt is concerned. But it feels good on regens. But yeah, you're definitely going to have control on that. Let's go ahead and do some grinds. It does okay. Yeah, I mean, the finish is nice. But yeah, the shape isn't going to be ideal for that. This is going to be a nice little pocket type yo-yo too. I wouldn't say it's slimline or anything like that, but it's not going to have a lot of bulk in the pocket, you know? So it's going to feel really nice there. Let's see if we can do a thumb grind. Okay, it's actually not bad. There is no like hook in there, but I didn't really have to tilt it much. It's just enough of a space there. If we hit it just right, you should be able to do a thumb grind or what have you. Let's go ahead and do a finger spin here and see how it does with that. The hub, of course, is going to kind of be in the way from you centering it, but there should be enough space to kind of let it spin around a little bit. I could have pulled it off a little bit longer, but you can see what it's capable of. Let's go ahead and try to do some horizontal, just see how it feels like on the plane. Again, that wall moves up a little bit. There's a little bit of a step, and so it's not like super high walled. So it might do okay. Yeah, it's not going to be ideal, but I don't really feel like it's grinding against there or anything. It's just not going to be the best shape for that. Let's see how rejections work for us. Yeah. I feel like it's popping out of there real nice. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a little repeater. Pretty simple little flowy type repeater. Learn it if you want, or whatever, or take an element from it. It's going to be a sort of a magic drop sort of motion, and then with some other elements in there as well. Okay, so first off, you're going to get into a trapeze, and then you're going to get into your magic drop sort of formation, and instead of landing it on a string, you're going to reject the magic drop out towards the front, like so. Okay, and then you're going to curl in with your pointer finger of your throw hand, and you're going to spin around. Okay, so what it looks like then, from here, okay, you're going to curl in, and you're going to land in a brother mount, okay? Like so. So you saw my non-throw hand was kind of moving along with the yo-yo. Pay attention to that one, all right? So you're in a brother mount, and then you're going to pop off here. You're going to pinch it again so you don't lose the string, and you're going to mount it, and then come back into a trapeze. All right, so the full motion that then you can repeat as many times as you wish looks like this. Okay, and then you can repeat it. And then bind when you want to. All right, so there you go. Anyways, that's a fun little flowy little repeater. Nothing crazy. Has some simple elements in there, but maybe take a few of those, make your own trick, what have you. So there you go. So yeah, the Locus prototype from PDX. I like it. It's a different yo-yo than they have in their lineup. A lot of their yo-yos tend to be in that sort of nostalgic sort of vibe to it. You know, kind of inspired by yo-yos 10 years ago or plus. And so I like that they were inspired by these two sort of iconic yo-yos, and pulled what they liked from those design-wise and made something unique though. You can see where it's been inspired by those two, but at the same time, the Locus is something unique on its own, and its playability is really nice. It, again, is going to be more of a challenge for you if all you have is maybe like really rim-weighted bimetal yo-yos maybe, or very performance-based yo-yos. If that's all you're playing, this one's going to be a bit of a challenge, keeping it on the plane and so on. But I had no problem with that. I just noticed that I had to make sure that I had control of the tilt, okay? Which I think is a good thing, and it has that sort of mid-school vibe to it because of that. So it's a good one. I like it. I'm excited to see what the final production will be like, if anything major changes. Probably nothing major. I think it's pretty much good to go. Definitely check out the Locus whenever it is released from PDX. That's going to do it for today. Later.